I remember one of my clients said to me one day is my team's not performing at the level that I know they can perform. And I had a lot of questions for them, but it was really a moment of just frustration and a moment that I could see in her eyes that things needed to change or she wouldn't be able to continue to grow the company the way she wanted to. And in fact, we talked about growth that day and she talked about, I'm not sure my team can handle it. Now, 2 months later, after we did a little bit of a workshop, everything has completely changed. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it is when we come back. Hi, my name is Gene Hammett. I work with hypergrowth companies to help them understand this and create an intentional culture of growth and help leaders lead in a new way to really understand the new demands of growth and of changing workforce. So what happened in that 2-month period really is quite remarkable. When I talk about this my client, I'm not going to tell you the name of it because I've got to protect the confidentiality of my clients. But I remember distinctly, she said, I'm not sure we can keep selling at the pace that the market is demanding because I'm not sure our team can handle it. And I hate to hear that because that running at capacity and holding yourself back and throttling the company because your team's not engaged the way you want to is painful. So what we did was we did an ownership workshop. I'm going to tell you the structure of that right now. That structure of the workshop is what set the tone for everything else. We brought in about 9 employees into one meeting, and I'm going to go through 4 different parts that I shared with you today. The first part of that was we just had a really solid conversation around customer expectations. It was about an hour long where we just went back and forth and got everyone's input into what is expected of them in their supply chain. So that means before the product is sold and then after that where the product is actually delivered. And we had a fantastic conversation. And a lot of the work in part 1 of customer expectations was dry language. But I remember one thing that stuck out very specifically because I challenged them to come up with something that was really kind of juicy and really lasting. And someone said, we want customers for life. So instead of improved customer service, I got them to create something in a language around customers for life. And that one change has stuck inside their company over the 2-month period. Now, in part 2, we created behaviors and we identified this together. I facilitated it of what is expected of them to map to those expectations. So the behaviors of customers for life, one of them would be, how do we go above and beyond and delight our customers in every interaction we have, whether email or phone? Think about that. That was the employees coming up with these ideas. And in the third part, I gave them a version of the speech I give, my keynote version, where I talk about the 6 disciplines of hypergrowth companies, and we talk about some of the areas they can improve inside their own leadership and culture. And the fourth one was, how do we simplify it? I've never seen a plan that comes out great the first time. So how do we get that down into a 3x5 card? How do we get that down into something very simple for them to be as a reminder, to make sure that these moments don't just happen and you spend money on a workshop, but they actually have a lasting impact inside the company. Now that workshop uncovered a few more things that must be done that I'll tell you in another video, but it will really help you understand how we got the ball started to shift that team engagement. And the 2 months since then has been phenomenal. The company's had record growth, and they've no question that their team can handle this and handle even future growth that's coming their way. All right, my name is Gene Hammett. I love to work with companies that are in hypergrowth or want to activate some of the core elements of hypergrowth. I help leaders shift the way they lead and help cultures have a very intention to growth. If you have any questions I can help you with, make sure you reach out. And as always, lead with courage, and I'll talk to you next time.